Hey, what's up,
I'm
Emma?
just having some fun. Just having a little blast. Woo.
Em, you okay?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
What you thinking about?
We're going to talk about improv.
We're gonna talk about improv.
I love improv.
Uh,
Oh,
you okay to talk about improv?
yeah, I'm good. And I'm full. Improv. I guess improvisation. Let's take it back. Let's go back. That's ancient Greece. First time, some guys sitting around, they were writing basically some scripts. But that's, the very dawn. And then we're moving up through history. We're on the streets of Italy, where Commedia dell'arte is taking place. And we have basically some people doing some stock characters, scenario plays, some funny stuff originating there. So then all these, Europeans were like, oh, let's get out of Europe now. And the other Europeans were like, yeah, life sucks here. Let's go. And so they did. They went to America and spread out all over the place. The areas were just like, oh, so much space. And then a little while later, there's this lady named, her name was Viola Spolin, and she moved to Chinatown, aka Chicago, and she started this children's theater group, and they were just doing improvised work. So this is pretty much the first example of modern improv, aka, historic as fuck. Now we're in 1959. And, wow. Anyway, we're post World War Dos, we're right in this weird time in, American history. There's a lot of racial tensions. There's a lot of suburbanization and a lot of class, and economic disparities happening. So it's a very interesting time. And then, a few guys from the University of Chicago got together like, hey, we're rich, white, some of us Jewish, boys. Let's start an improv group. Let's start a club. Let's do it. And, they, down the line, they created the Second City, which is, wow. Incredible. It's one of the, most prestigious improv training centers, performance centers, in the world. It's incredible. Oh my god, I didn't explain what improv is. I really need to do that. So Charna Halpern defines improv as getting on stage and performing without any preparation or planning. So this is more specific to comedic improv, but there are tons of different kinds of improv out there, like, improv jazz, improv, rap. Really, you could go out and just improvise. You could, build a building. You can improvise that. It all counts. Everything counts. But now we're just gonna focus on comedic improv. And maybe one day we can talk about jazz or something. Oh my god, I hope so. So there are several different techniques one can employ as an improviser to take this suggestion to build a show. They all have really stupid names, but it's fine because it's improv. It's funny. So first we have the Herald, the Armando, and the Onion. So let's take in a suggestion. Let's say the suggestion is pineapple. We're not going to take the first thing that comes to our mind. Del Close, who was, called the premier god of improv, once said, don't take the first suggestion that comes to your mind. Take the third. Because the first two are, they're shit. And so, let's go through my thought process. What am I thinking of right now? SpongeBob. Okay, what is that, making me think of? I'm thinking of that thing in SpongeBob, and then I'm thinking about, some, pirates on a little island. They're eating pineapples so they don't get scurvy, because scurvy is not fun. And now I'm thinking of, little kids dressed up as pirates going trick-or-treating. And now I'm thinking of a dentist who's, pulling out kids' teeth, because if you don't say yes, there's nowhere to go. Just say a little example. Let's say I go up to a fellow improviser and I'm like, oi, I see you finally brought your dog to the park this time, yeah? And they say, no, this is actually my lizard. His name is Steven, and we're actually in an alien spaceship. What the hell? What the fuck? No, You have to say yes, you have to agree. You can't just keep going, you couldn't go back at that and being like, actually, no, I'm in a hair salon and your nails are getting done because they look ugly. No, what the hell? Where the fuck is that gonna go? Nowhere. No, it's not going anywhere. So improv, influenced a lot of other comedy. And, for instance, in 1966, BBC, the Frost Report, that was really popular, and that was actually pretty much responsible for creating Monty Python. I mean, you're welcome. 1969, the Smothers Brothers were super popular. Yum. 1975, that's when Saturday Night Live first premiered. So actually then a lot of improvisers were like, well, I want to go on, television and go on Saturday Night Live and do sketch comedy and make tons of money. And so they did, but that actually, a lot of more people started to become interested in these new kinds of comedy. People were saying to themselves, I want to see live comedy like this near me. And so in 1974, the Groundlings started in Los Angeles. 1990, Upright Citizens Brigade started in New York, and then several years later also opened up in Los Angeles. I mean, it's really exciting. I mean, improv is, it's becoming popular. So now, what's cool is like, a lot of people know what improv is. I mean, you could probably just, walk up to some rando on the street and say, hey, do you want to go see some improv comedy? And they'd probably be like, yeah, yes, and I love improv comedy. I would love to do that. Improv really does target problems in society, though. I mean, it can really shed light on a lot of issues that are occurring and happening. And for example, there are improv shows about women's rights and lack of diversity, and these things stay with people. It gets people talking. So now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what are you saying? You're saying I could make a difference like this without having to write this script, without having to spend hella time on it? Saying yes. Of course you can do that. But no, you don't need to spend hella time on something. You can do this with improv. I mean, have you even been listening? Improv is yet to reach its full potential, to comment on all these, social issues and make a real change, because it's just it's not diverse at all. It's just these white guys. So, if improv really does open up its doors, it could become something so much more, amazing than it is today. And that would just be so great. So that's improv. Can I please have the blanket?
Yes, you can have the blanket.
Thank you.
Good job.
And I just explained that all, on the spot. So, improv.